First comment there that I'm seeing is, where is the money? And that's a fair point. Where is the money? As is being reported tonight, I was just looking to try and get a confirmation on that release clause of Andre's, because, you know, all month we've been hearing 40 million euro, 40 million euro, 40 million euro, 40 million euro. Now it's apparently $80 million. So there is that. It's mental. I'm not happy. I went and I looked back. It's been 10 weeks to the day since the transfer window opened. 10 weeks. And what have we done? Nothing. We've brought in 2 midfielders at the start of the window and a number 6. That's it. That's the rebuild? Is it? Really? After 10 weeks? This is where we're at? Sweating once again with 8 days to go, 9 days to go? Will we get a couple of signings scrambled over the line? So again, I'm going to ask, if you are happy with the status quo, probably best that you either don't comment or go elsewhere to watch, because I'm not happy at all. I'm getting more and more frightened and more frustrated as each day goes by, because we're seeing waffle and somebody's head has to roll. Somebody has to be responsible for this absolute fustercluck of a window. It's unacceptable. I'm baffled how some people are okay with it. We've got rid of 8 players and brought in 3. And yes, I get there's still time in the window. Of course I understand that. But how long are we going to have that conversation? Oh, there's still time in the window. There's still 2 days to go. There's still 6 hours to go. Ultimately, the later you leave it, the more difficult it becomes, the more expensive it becomes, and the more desperate it looks. So for us right now as Liverpool fans, I think we've got every right to ask what the hell our board is doing, what our manager is doing, what our recruitment team is doing, and how are we in this mess? And it is a mess, once again. This video is sponsored by Manscaped, the best in men's grooming. Manscaped is known for their elite bald skills, a little bit like myself. But with the beard hedger, they're helping people notice that pretty face too. Our friends at Manscaped are now focusing on their off-the-ball movement with their Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The Beard Hedger Face Trimmer is a waterproof, cordless trimmer which has 20 haircutting lengths, all with just one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The trimmer has a titanium-coated T-blade which is tough on hair but smooth on your face. Just because Manscaped have moved away from the groin doesn't mean they've lost track of the ball. Unlike Joe Gomez. They still have the Lawnmower 4.0, the best hygiene tool to help you keep the grass on the pitch the perfect length. The Lawnmower 4.0's ceramic blade reduces cuts and nicks in your most sensitive areas. Unlike me, the trimmer's battery lasts 90 minutes, meaning you could shave your nether regions the length of an entire match if you wanted. You can get a wide range of packages and products at manscaped.com. What's more, you can get 20% off and free delivery using our code Anfield20 at manscaped.com. Celebrate the new season of the beautiful game with your newly beautiful balls and face. I don't know why they say newly beautiful. My face is always beautiful. Look at it. It's amazing. Right, so our defensive spending has been pretty woeful in the Klopp era. If you were to remove Van Dijk and Alisson from the list of players that Liverpool have bought defensively under Jurgen Klopp, this is what the list looks like. Matip, free. Klavan, 4 million. Robertson, 8 million. Van den Berg, 1.3 million. Davies, 1.6 million. Tsimikas, 11.75 million. Kanade, 36 million. And Calvin Ramsey, 6 million. So, it's not great. And here's what I don't understand. If Klopp tells you he wants a defender, how on earth are we sitting here on the 23rd of August without a defender? What's going on? So when we had that bid for Caicedo, the first question that we were asked here on the channel was, do you think that they were willing to spend that money? And the answer was, and probably would have been the same if I was asked again, yes, I do think they were going to spend that money on Caicedo. But that's been and gone. Now what we want to know is, what are we going to do with the rest of the money that we know is there, that John W. Henry is seemingly once again unwilling to spend? It's pathetic. There's no plan, there's no structure, and I don't give a damn what anybody says at this point. Whatever happens between now and the end of this window, if anything happens, is going to be a scramble of desperation. So the once lauded transfer committee is a joke. It's just not good enough. So just to go back to the buyout clause, Jacques Talbot has said Andre Trinidad's release clause is 80 million euro and not the 40 million euro widely reported. If that's the case, forget about signing him, because they're not going to want to sell in this window while they're still in the Copa Libertadores. And if the buyout clause is now 80 million euro, we know Liverpool aren't going to pay that. So let's move on. Stop wasting fucking time. Next. And it's going to be, well, let's wait and see what happens with Gravenberch. Why is it always wait? Why is that always the answer with FSG? Wait, in the future, down the line, wait, monitor, wait, plan, wait. Why not do? Why not act? Why not buy? Why not spend? They're pulling the wool over our eyes. They are. There's no plan. There isn't. There's no plan. Let's be honest. There's no fucking plan. If there was a plan, then we would have seen action. We wouldn't be last week scramble yet again. Another damn window where we're in the last week scraping around. We did this before. How did it end up? It ended up with Arthur Mello. How did that go? Not great. Let's look at what we've actually done. 95 million for 2 midfield signings and McAllister and Szoboszlai, and 16 million for Endo. So what's that? 111 million, rounded up to 115 with some add-ons. And we brought in 53. So we're at a 60 million pound net spend in the last week of the window. Hardly a war chest. Again, look at what our competitors are doing. Look at what Arsenal have done. Look at what Manchester United have done. Look at the money they've spent. And do you know what? I don't care if you want to say to me, Craig, they pissed the money up against the wall. At least they're trying. Us trying to be too clever is exactly that. Us trying to be too clever. It doesn't take a genius to know that we need another midfielder and a defender. It doesn't. But it takes a special kind of idiot to try and convince the world that we don't. Or to try and say that there is a plan. Or we have it in hand. We clearly don't. We just don't. Nobody would leave it to the last week to try and squeeze in 2 important signings. And they're 2 signings that it's already too late anyway. Because we needed them in at the start of the season. We needed them ready to go on the opening day. If we lose against Newcastle because we're overrunning midfield again, or because we don't have enough options from the bench, that's 5 points dropped in 3 games. Is there anybody at this football club that has some fucking ambition? Does anybody actually want to win? There's no bonus points for being good boys in the financial side of things. There's no pat on the head, well done lads. Let's all sit around and celebrate the fact we scraped into 5th place. If we don't win anything this season and are out of the Europe, are you Klopp out or is it on the owners? I mean, look, there's a lot of ifs in that scenario. But I've said it, and I will say it again, Callum. Jurgen Klopp deserves a bad season. He's earned the right to have a bad season. He had it last season. That's his blip gone. If he doesn't do it this season, I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear about we couldn't have foreseen that the squad would be tired or that X and Y might have gotten injured. Don't want to hear it from Jurgen. He's absolutely on the line this season. If he doesn't do it this season and has accepted the window we've had, then yeah, I'm absolutely, for the first time, thinking to myself, the manager's job is on the line. Because he has to take some of the responsibility. Last season was a joke. Because of his pig-headedness, because of John's stubbornness, we didn't get the recruitment we needed. Stop trying to be over-perfect. Just get the damn bodies in that we need to fill out the squad and make sure we can compete. And stop sitting around doing twiddly shit. It's not good enough. But look, I think it's a fair question that our friend Callum has asked. Like, nobody wants Klopp to fail. No Liverpool fan wants Klopp not to do well. But 2 seasons in a row would be trouble. It would be. Let's be frank about it. It would be trouble. And there's no excuses. Like, I don't want to hear about not being able to get certain players because they weren't available. Bullshit. Loads of players available this summer. Loads of them. But once again, we're cheaping out. Do you know how many more like signings we've made above £50 million at Liverpool Football Club under Klopp? I think the answer's 5 off the top of my head. Now compare that with other clubs. And again, you can talk about the success rates of these transfers. That's okay, I get that. But I'd rather we bring somebody in that Klopp's 80% sure of than have to listen to, well, we're injured now, so we're going to have to play another player out of position, or nobody could have foreseen this tiredness or fatigue or blah, 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 blah. The excuses are washed up, they're done, they're dried, they're dead. It's time for action, and it's time for collective responsibility. Honestly. And do you know what? All you assholes, and you are assholes, let's be honest about it. All you assholes that are FSG in, and that think that the rest of us are just moaning. What do you want? What do you fucking want? Do you actually like seeing Liverpool floundering around being laughed at? Because you can sleep happy at night knowing that John W. Henry won't be under any financial stress. Is that what makes you happy? Because you know what makes me happy? Seeing Liverpool win. Seeing Jurgen Klopp and our team celebrating with medals and trophies. Talking about what route the parade around the city's going to go. Comparing this title-winning team to a title-winning team from back in the day. That's the shit that makes me happy. I couldn't give a rat's ass if John W. Henry is stressed to the nines about money. Not my problem. I want Liverpool to be successful. And if you're out one of those people, if you're just happy to exist, wow, that's appalling. I don't get it. I don't get it. There can't be anybody that's still FSG in. There can't be. There just can't. Is Salah leaving? Oh God. See, I feel dirty saying this because I am giving the club the benefit of the doubt on Salah. That they won't. There isn't a number this window. Surely to God there isn't. Like, it's promising that you hear from Salah's side that he wants to stay this season. That his agent came out earlier, or his solicitor came out earlier in the window and said, no, Mo's happy. Nothing happening this summer. I hope that stays the case because we already have a big headache coming next summer because that's when the real tough decision is going to have to be made on Mo. Do the owners give him a new contract or do you look to cash in? Because I can't see a world where we let him go for free the year after. So again, that's just another big transfer headache that's been kicked down the road because we're still playing catch up for this window. The window where we know what we needed. And that was to fill out the squad places vacated by the 8 departures. And we haven't done it. And again, if you're happy with that and you aren't getting a bit tetchy at this point in the window, well then you clearly are just going to accept a bang average season again. Because for us to have a successful season this campaign, we're going to have very little injuries and we're going to have to be able to play the same team pretty much week in and week out. Because Verge has no cover. None. Zero. Gomez, not really convinced there. Matip looks like he aged overnight. And again, to all the journalists that were telling us for a year that the club know what they have to do, that this is going to be a big window, that the club have left no stone unturned, that the club have recruited George Schmadtke to help them get this window sorted. What has gone wrong? How are we here? Again. Because it's every damn window with these charlatans. Now, can you imagine? Think about this for a second. What if we hadn't have got the Fabinho and Henderson money? What would have happened then? Because right now, I'm starting to wonder, where's the budget? Where's the money? Because they have loads of excuses. And one of their favourite ones is, if we don't see value, we walk away. Problem is, they never see any value. They always nickel and dime every single transfer. And that's grand when it works and you've got Michael Edwards and it's a smooth machine and he gets deals over the line. But when you embarrass the shit out of us by having Caicedo and Chelsea laughing at us, only to follow that up with another player laughing at us the week after, that's not good enough. We demand a response. We deserve a response. Klopp wanted 4 midfield players and got 2 in early. Then he wanted Mason Mount and Manu Kone. Injured, let us down. After that, it was look about and see who we wanted to join us. Answer, nobody, then 2 more left, said Sarah Marshall. Again, Sarah, you want to ask yourself there, mate, you know, and you probably are asking yourself this in fairness, where's the planning? The succession planning? Because you're either the smartest guys in the room or you're not. And if you're not the smartest guys in the room, then get the fuck out of the room. Craig, it's like you haven't learned that LFC don't do their business in public. Tell me which of the 3 midfielders that came in that you saw coming. again, mate, I get where you're coming from and I appreciate what you're saying, but you're working off the assumption that we always get our targets. We've been left with a knob in our hands a lot over the last few windows, mate. A lot. Where's Jude? Not here. Where's this generational talent we've been promised? Not really here. So, yes, you can say we're doing our business in private, and if we are, why are we leaving until the last week of the window when it becomes infinitely harder and more expensive? I understand where you're coming from, but I don't have any belief. I don't have any faith in the machine. I don't have any faith in the recruitment team at the minute. And I think that that's vindicated. Because are you trying to tell me, mate, that you think this was part of a plan, a process, that we wait till the end of the window, 3 games into the league campaign, to try and get a couple of players in? Well, I'll tell you what, the season could be already dead and buried. Because how many times do we have to lose out on a league title or a European place by a handful of points and not learn the lesson that we haven't prepared well enough? We haven't done our business early enough. So, again, trying to argue the point of the club side is fine if it works, but it isn't working. And clearly, nobody had a clue what was going on with the Caicedo incident. An absolute joke. We look like a 2-bit outfit. Laughed at. Embarrassed. Publicly. Around the world. Twice in a week. So how can I have any faith in the process, mate, when the process is a mess? A. Santino said, FSG out, but how much of this is on Klopp? Players know that Klopp is not long for this team. I think Klopp should have left this summer. Wow. I don't know the exact power that Klopp has at the club at the minute. I don't know how it's structured. I don't know who has the real transfer power. Obviously, the owners have to sign off on the finances of it, but whoever's making these decisions, they're either second-guessing themselves too much or they're deluded. One or the other. But Jamie Carragher made a point to say that the buck should stop with Klopp on this. Now, I'm paraphrasing that to some extent, but he basically said Klopp has a lot of power at the football club, and outside of maybe Pep Guardiola, there isn't really another manager in the league that has as much influence at the football club from top to bottom. So if we're taking that as a fact, then 100% Jurgen Klopp has to take some of this responsibility. By taking the responsibility, I don't mean coming on and telling us we're all children at Christmas looking for a Ferrari. I don't mean belittling us. I don't mean spitting in our faces again. I mean actually sit in front of the camera and explain how we're in this position once again. Once again in this position of scrambling around at the end of a window. Disrespectful Klopp talk irritates me. Well, that's tough shit, Marley. He's not the Messiah. He makes mistakes. And he should be held accountable for those mistakes like anybody else. So if bold talking about Klopp makes you angry, then maybe it's time to pull the fucking duvet over your head and get back behind the sofa with the rest of the people who think that the sun shines out of his arse. He makes mistakes, and like anybody else, he needs to be accountable for those damn mistakes. And Klopp doesn't get a free pass. He got his free pass with last year, with that shit season we had. That was his free pass. Doesn't get it anymore. Wow. Like, I don't get it. I honestly, does not compute in my head how people think that Klopp has nothing to do with it and it's everybody else's fault. He has a big part to play in this. Multiple things are possible at once. I can love Jurgen Klopp, but I'm not a cult follower. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up his arse when he's shit in the bed. It's okay. I love my wife, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to moan at her if she does something I'm pissed off about. Do you get me? Like, they don't have to be conflicting things all the time. We can have multiple feelings about the same person. Do you want me to lighten it up for a second? I can give you some light-hearted laughs if you want. Senior sources at Chelsea are under the impression that salary was not a decisive factor behind Caicedo's move. He would have earned the same, if not more, at Liverpool. Would he? But he didn't even hold conversations with Liverpool about salary. And journalists have wrote that. So to tell us that, and this came from The Athletic, by the way, Chelsea sources feel like Caicedo was going to Chelsea and he would have earned the same at Liverpool. But yet the same breath will tell us that it never even got to the conversations about money with Caicedo at Liverpool. So which is it? Again, we're being treated like morons. And again, from the same outlet, The Athletic. So you've read what I read you a second ago, and I'm going to read it again. Senior sources at Chelsea are under the impression that salary was not a decisive factor behind Caicedo's move. He would have earned around the same amount, if not more, at Liverpool. That's from The Athletic. Also from The Athletic, Caicedo's decision to tell Liverpool the morning that he wanted Chelsea over them was pivotal. He never even wanted to discuss personal terms with Liverpool. So which one is it? He never discussed personal terms at Liverpool, or he was going to earn the same money at Liverpool. Make up your mind.